Guys, let's try to understand the top line and bottom line which we have discussed yesterday with the help of an example. Uh, let's assume that there is a company which had equity shares of 1 lakh. Preference shares are also of 1 lakh. The value of each share is rupees 100 and the preference dividend payable is at the rate of 20 per share. Okay, for each preference share of 100 each, you will get a dividend of rupees 20. And there are also debentures. These are also, number is 1 lakh. Their value is also rupees 100 each. And the interest payable on debenture is 15 per debenture. Let's assume that with this capital structure, the company has achieved a sales of 400 lakhs. This is the company. Now, let's see how we take the top line and come to the bottom line. Sales are 400 lakhs. That is what is given. Let's assume that the cost of goods sold, which we deduct from sales, cost of goods sold is deducted from sales, right? Let's assume it to be 60 lakhs, and the 340 lakhs you get is, if you deduct cost of goods sold from sales, you get gross profit. You get gross profit. From gross profit, you deduct operating expenses. They call it cash operating expenses because non-cash operating expenses like depreciation, which are not paid in cash, right? They are excluded here. If you take P&L account, which we have discussed in the last sessions, there we have seen that depreciation is also charged to P&L account on the debit side to ascertain net profit. But here depreciation is not included. That is why he is accentuating on cash operating expenses. That means expenses that could be paid in cash. Let's assume them to be 120 lakhs. If you deduct this, what you get is called as EBIT and DA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciations and amortization. Sometimes people also call it as earnings before depreciation, interest and taxes. Here D includes depreciation and amortization. When D includes depreciation and amortization, we call it as EBDIT. This is more commonly used in the Indian perspective. In Indian perspective, they call it as EBDIT because earnings before depreciation, interest and taxes, because they give you the sequence. First depreciation and amortization are to be deducted, then interest is to be deducted, then taxes is to be deducted. That is why they also call it as EBDIT. Okay, depreciation includes depreciation and amortization. The difference between those two things which we have seen in the last session. So from this, as the sequence is given, first thing we need to deduct depreciation and amortization. So assume that the depreciation provided for this company is 5 lakhs. Now if you deduct this 5 lakhs, the 215 lakhs you get is called EBIT because depreciation is removed. EB and IT are remaining. And this EBIT, as we have discussed yesterday, is also called as operating profit. From this operating profit, so D has gone, I is remaining. So the next thing is I, that means interest. I am deducting interest. How is interest calculated? Here it is given. It is a 15 rupees on 100 rupees debenture. So how many such debentures are there? 1 lakh debentures are there. Are you getting my point? So now let's look at See, 100 rupees debenture, 15 rupees is at the rate of 15% means it will be 15 rupees per debenture. That means 1 lakh debentures are there. What will be the total interest payable? 1 lakh into 15 rupees is 15 lakhs. Okay, so interest is 15 lakhs. If you deduct this 15 lakhs, this 200 lakhs remaining is called I has also gone. So EBT, earnings before taxes. What do you need to deduct from it automatically? Taxes. Less tax. Let's assume that tax rate is 50%. Generally it will be 35% depending upon the year. Here assume that it is 50%. Now 50% on 200 lakhs is 100 lakhs. Okay, tax is calculated on EBT, the figure that is given above. So 50% on this, 50% on this 200 lakhs is 100 lakhs. So if you deduct that, you will get 100 lakhs. Now tax is also paid. EBT becomes EAT or PAT, profit after tax. Okay, so this 100 lakhs is profit after tax. This is called as bottom line. This sales is called top line. This is top line, this is bottom line. So profit after tax. Now as you have already paid the debenture holders, the next one who come is preference shareholders, right? So now preference shareholders are to be paid. Let's go and look at the preference shares. Each preference share is 100 rupees and at the rate of 20 per preference share. How many such preference shares are there? 1 lakh. So 20 into 1 lakh amounts to 20 lakhs, right? So if you deduct a preference dividend 20 lakhs, you will be left with 80 lakhs. So because debenture holders are already paid, now we are paying the preference shareholders. That is the sequence in which we pay, right? This 80 lakhs, because we have paid interest which is belongs to debenture holders, tax which belongs to government, preference dividend which belongs to preference shareholders. That means all the external parties are paid. Debenture holders are paid in the form of debenture interest. Government is paid in the form of taxes. Preference shareholders are paid in the form of preference dividend. Now this 80 lakhs remaining. Okay, what do you call this? What do you call this? You call this as earnings of equity shareholders, because everybody is paid. These earnings belong to equity shareholders. But yesterday, as we have understood, all the earnings of equity shareholders are not paid to equity shareholders. The board of directors may pass a resolution with the help of the remaining members or the shareholders that part of it should be transferred to reserves. Say the specific reserves and general reserves, everything amount to 50 lakhs. So what is the part transferred to reserves? The part transferred to reserves is 50 lakhs and 30 lakhs is left, and this 30 lakhs is what you call as dividend declared. So this dividend is paid to equity shareholders. Okay, so 30 lakhs is the dividend paid to equity shareholders. Now if you look at this, earnings of equity shareholders is 80 lakhs. Okay, what is the earnings per share? Earnings per share. The total earnings of equity shareholders is 80 lakhs. How many equity shares are there? 1 lakh. That means the earning of equity share, each equity share is rupees 80. Is this point clear? The earning of each debenture, as we have seen, each debenture is 15 rupees. The earning of each preference share is 20 rupees. But in this case, it is earned and paid. 20 rupees is earned by them and paid. Debenture holder case also, it is earned by them and paid. But here, he has earned 80 rupees per equity share. But is everything paid? No. Part of it is transferred to reserves. 50 lakhs is transferred to reserves. Only 30 lakhs is distributed. So all earnings doesn't transfer to or translate to payment. So what we need to do is we need to calculate dividend per share, because earnings per share is 80, but that is not coming into the pocket of the equity shareholder now. Dividend per share is equal to 30 lakhs by 1 lakh shares. Okay, 30 lakhs by 1 lakh is rupees 30 per share. So this is dividend per share. This is how you calculate earning per share and dividend per share.